Hi everyone, I am Mrs. Lambert and I am here today with a new family math game for you. One of my most popular videos so far has been a game called Close to 100. So this one is very similar in the style of the game, but we're kicking it up a notch. It's called Perfect 500. So what you're going to need for this game is a deck of cards and some paper and something to write with as your recording sheet. So the deck of cards, you're going to want to get rid of some of the cards. You only want aces through nines plus the queens. So you're going to get rid of all the tens, all the jacks, all the kings, and the jokers. You can set those aside. You're not going to need them. The aces are going to count as ones in this game, and the queens are going to act as our zeros, right? The Q kind of looks like a zero. That'll help you remember. Okay, so you're going to take your cards, shuffle them up, and deal out 5 cards to each player. You can play this with just a partner, or you can play it with a small group. So I'm playing by myself today, so I'm just going to deal out 5 cards to myself. And everyone can look at their own cards. I'm going to show them to you so that you can play with me. Okay, so the goal of this game is to create numbers. You're going to build 2-digit numbers to add together. And after 5 rounds of the game, you're going to try and get as close to 500 without going over. So to help you keep track of all that, you're going to make yourself a recording sheet for each player. So as you notice, there are 5 rounds to my game, and I'm going to be recording my addition equations for each round, and I'm going to keep a running total on the side so that I know how close I already am to 500. That'll help me with my strategy. Okay, so here are my cards. I have a 2, a 0, a 2, a 1, and another 0. Okay. So the goal is to get to 500. So I need to turn these digits into 2 2-digit numbers that I can add together. So some strategy that you can talk to your child about. If there's 5 rounds and you're trying to get to 500, what number should you be aiming for about in each round in order to get there? They're probably going to say about 100, right? So that can be something that you're thinking about when you're trying to make your number. Is there a way I can make 100 by adding some of the 2-digit numbers I can make? Unfortunately, in my case, I don't think so. So the biggest number that I can make, I think, is, let's see, a 2 and a 1 would make 21. So I think that's going to be my first number. And another 2 and a 0 would make 20. And I'm going to save the last card, my 0, for the next round. So you only use 4 cards each round. So I have made 21 and 20. So now I get to add these together. And I'm going to record them on my recording sheet. So 21 plus 20 equals 41, right? Have your child use whatever strategy works for them to do the addition. And now I'm going to fill out my running total. Talk to your child about what a running total means, right? That you're adding up your totals for every round together to see where you're at. So because this is my first round, my running total is going to be the same as my total for round 1. So I'm going to write 41 right here. Now, again, talk to your child about their strategy for the next round, right? I got a lot lower than my target of 100, right, for each round. So I'm going to have to try and get a number that's even higher than that for the next round, right? Hopefully, right? There's some element of chance because you're pulling cards. Okay, so then it would be my partner's turn if I was playing with somebody else. And then eventually it would come back to me. So these cards that I already used, I'm going to set them in a discard pile. I already have 1 card still in my hand from the first round, so I'm going to pull 4 more cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here we go. Ooh, I'm getting a little luckier. So I have my 0 from the first round. I got 2 9s this time. Excellent. A 1 and a 4. So I'm thinking I want to make up for some of my lost points in the first round, so I'm going to make 2 of the highest numbers I can. So I'm going to make 94 as my first number and 91 as my second number. And I'm going to keep that 0 again. So once again, I would write my addition equation on my chart here. So 94 plus 91. Again, have your child use whatever method they can to do their addition, right? So 90 plus 90 would be 180, and 4 plus 1 is 5, so 185. And so for my running total, right, now I have to add up the 41 from the first round to my 185 from the second round. And I would put that here. So here we go, 6. Okay, so I am at 226. So I'm a little bit over my target of 200 by the second round. So that'll, I'll have to take that into consideration next time when I'm making my numbers. All right, so play would continue like this, and talk to your child about their strategy. Do they need to make a really big number like I was to kind of catch up for something, or have they overshot already and do they need to start making smaller numbers? Remember, you don't want to go over 500. The person who gets closest to 500 without going over is the one that wins. If you go over 500, you automatically lose. So try not to do that. And so discuss the strategy, right? Once you get your final totals, who got the closest? What strategy did you use for determining that? Did you add up to see how many more you needed to get to 500? Or did you use subtraction? Did you take 500 and subtract your total to find out how close you got? Right? Again, you can talk to your kids about if you had rearranged your numbers in any round, would you have gotten even closer? Could you have won in any way? Or did you just get unlucky with the numbers that you had? Right? Those are all great conversations that you can have with your kids while you're playing. But sometimes it's also fun to just back off and enjoy the game. See if your kids can beat you, or maybe you beat your kids, who knows? So enjoy this game. And to make it a little bit easier for the younger kids, choose a different target number. So maybe 500 is too high, so drop it down. Maybe you want to only do 200, and you still have 5 rounds, so your children are going to be building smaller numbers as they go. Or you can even get rid of the addition in each round and just have them build one number for each round, and so they only add for their running total. Right? Those are ways that you can simplify the game to reduce the size of the numbers for your kids. So as always, adaptable to the levels that you need for your family to make it the most fun while still learning along the way. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this one and have an awesome family game night tonight. I'll see you later.